Books or shared spreadsheets. Introducing NetSuite by Oracle, the business management software that handles every aspect of your business. Don't miss out on their guide titled Crushing the 5 Barriers to Growth. Get your free guide today, netsuite.com/herd. So before the All-Star game, LeBron James was on a web series, internet web series, and he talked about Donald Trump, President Trump, and said some unflattering things. And then Laura Ingraham, who is a host on Fox News, I think she's a new host. She's been a conservative author and a conservative radio voice for years and years. I don't follow it too closely, but she's a Fox host now. They've lost a multitude of people to other things, so they're hiring new hosts. Tucker Carlson's one of them. She's another one. And she ripped LeBron, saying he was barely intelligible and ungrammatical. Must they run their mouths like that? This is what happens when you attempt to leave high school a year early to join the NBA. Keep the political commentary to yourself. Or as somebody once said, shut up and dribble. LeBron fired back and saying, I won't shut up. I need to have an opinion on this. First of all, LeBron's bigger than just an athlete. He's an industry. He is an icon. He is bigger than a forward for a basketball team in Cleveland. Let's just put it this way. His brand, his tree, has more branches than anybody else in sports now. And remember this about LeBron. LeBron's credo, his mantra, from day one has been strive for greatness. That is not a basketball slogan. That is a life inspirational credo. Why didn't LeBron go to college? The same reason Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg leave early. Because it slows their ascension. Even at Stanford now, they tell their top students, leave. You can get the paper later. The idea in Silicon Valley must start now. There are people that talk politics like actors when I roll my eyes. LeBron's not one of them. My mom passed away a few years ago. She was from England, left at 14 on a boat, arrived in New York City. She used to say this about America all the time. She said, Bill Clinton is what makes America great. He grew up with no money. Mom was a degenerate horse gambler. Dad was physically abusive. And Bill Clinton, and for that matter, Hillary, became the most powerful political people of the Democratic Party. And my mom used to say, it doesn't work that way in England. You're born into it, or you never have ultimate power. LeBron is a uniquely American story. Here's the opinion I don't care about. The trust fund kid who goes to a prep school in Connecticut, then to Yale. He majors in poli-sci and through his dad's connections becomes a senator. I've heard his story. I'm not interested. The story I'm interested in and the opinions I want to hear is from a young man who lived in 8 apartments and is close to being a billionaire. That, to me, is the voice I want to hear. It is a uniquely American story. You go all over this globe. You're born into it, or you never accumulate power. LeBron James and every American has a right to an opinion. But LeBron's opinion and his brand and his strive for greatness credo has never been just about basketball. It's about life. I'll take his opinion every day. Christine with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
The Daytona 500 was this weekend.
Huge crash. Huge. They had a fire-burning crash.
I don't know if that's the first thing you're supposed to think of when I mentioned Daytona 500.
You're right, my bad.
Austin Dillon won, and he did it in the number 3 car, and that is famous because that is the car that Dale Earnhardt drove. He drove the number 3 car, and it is also the 20-year anniversary since Earnhardt won his only Daytona 500. Yeah. And here's Austin Dillon after the win.
And this place is awesome. I don't know what it is about storylines in Daytona. This place just creates history, and proud to be a part of it and make some history here tonight. And he said, if you win tomorrow night, you need to slide through the grass like that. All right. So I remembered it halfway down the backstretch and slid through the grass, had fun, and it's pretty awesome.
I have a question, Christine.
Don't ask me a question that I'm not going to know the answer to. Are you going to put me on the spot?
I don't think I know the answer to it.
Okay.
John, you know NASCAR really well.
Yes.
Do you know? Do you retire numbers in NASCAR?
No, the teams own the rights to a number, so you generally wouldn't. Nobody drove the 3 for a long time.
Okay.
He kind of got the exemption. He is the guy who owns it, Richard Childress, who owns that team. He is his grandson. So it was finally like, okay, we'll let you race this because you're family. But no, they don't. They, as far as I know, they've never retired a number fully because they're owned by people.
Well, the only 2 numbers I think of in my mind in NASCAR are 3, and Richard Petty was 44?
43.
Okay, so
and
I butchered that one.
He owns that car, which someone else drives now.
Okay. I wasn't going to put you on the spot because I didn't know the answer
Okay, so Goulet also told me a fun fact.
Okay.
Do you know what Austin Dillon did after he won yesterday? How he celebrated?
How?
You could relate, maybe. I think. But he got a tattoo last night, right after the win, on his rear end.
Well, I don't have one of those.
Well, no, but you've got... not that I would
You
know
don't celebrate a great show by
by
getting a tattoo?
Yeah, no, but you have a tattoo on your leg.
Because I lost a bet.
Right. He won something and got a tattoo.
Good for him.
I would imagine that would hurt in that location.
Yeah.
I don't know. Never had a tattoo, so I'm not sure. The pace car in the Daytona 500 was driven by Peyton Manning, of all people, and I think he was pretty scared. We have video of it, and here it is.
Hey, Peyton, it's CW. How's it going out there, buddy? You got a death grip on that steering wheel, man.
Well, I tell you, I've never, I've been upright, I've been on my back, I've never been sideways before. So this is a little different, Daryl.
Tell Buster to keep his hands off the steering wheel. You can handle this.
He looks like he's in a driver's ed class, and he's terrified.
Well,
I
he's
would be
going like
terrified, too.
160. He's going 160 miles an hour.
Colin,
That's
you've
terrifying.
been there. You've been there before. The grade, like that is so steep. It's almost like a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
Really?
No,
you
it's
have
incredible.
to drive like 75, otherwise your car will slide down.
Yeah, the corners in Daytona are literally vertical.
That's terrifying.
No, it's kind of. But I mean, they're slanted. I've been to 2 Daytona 500s. I used to work in Tampa. It's the most remarkable thing about Daytona was the track.
I drove one of those cars. What is it called? The funny car? Yeah, that was terrifying. First of all, I don't know how to drive stick, and I was trying to drive stick.
Yeah.
And I went about 40 miles an hour at most, and it was really scary. And the All-Star game was this weekend.
Yeah.
I actually went to the Saturday part. I did not go yesterday. But before the All-Star game, Paul George was asked about his future because obviously he's playing in LA, so people
Right.
were wondering, are you going to be a Laker? What's going to happen? And then also, Russell Westbrook heard some fans in the in Staples Center cheering, "We want Paul." So he added his 2 cents, and here's both of them together.
It's a long ways until the end of the season. There's no awkwardness. I'm a Thunder, and that's all there is to it. I'm not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I know what team I'm representing, and I know what our main goal is.
Staying encouraging our that's out. Ball ain't going nowhere. It's over for that. See how quickly they silence?
I love that. Also, what does it mean to be a Thunder? He said, "I'm a Thunder." I've never heard that used before. But I wanted to point out, so at the three-point contest and the dunk contest on Saturday, I was sitting behind Russell Westbrook, and he was sitting next to James Harden, and those two look like they're still very good friends. So clearly Westbrook is a good teammate, maintains relationships with certain guys that leave.
No, I think.
And I think that Paul George likes
I
him a
think
lot.
players, you can be a friend, but not. You pointed this out 2 years ago. You can like Westbrook, not like being on the floor with him. Durant still likes him.
I think Paul George likes being on the floor with him, too. I really
A lot
do.
of guys like Melo. They still want to be on the floor with Carmelo.
Wait, can I tell you yet who I saw, or do you want to save that for a little bit?
No, go ahead. Say who you saw this weekend.
Okay.
You go to famous places, so go ahead.
Well, so I saw Russell Westbrook obviously there, and then I was at dinner on Saturday. Was it Saturday night? Yeah, Saturday night, right after the All-Star stuff. And I look behind me, and I see Tom Hanks.
Oh, my God.
Right, which I immediately thought of you and how excited you would be to see
Oh, God.
Tom Hanks.
I couldn't
and
contain
by
myself.
the way, I could hear him talking and having a full-on conversation. I was convinced that Woody from Toy Story was sitting right behind me. It was so funny. And then I turned around, and I saw Johnny Manziel. So it was like your favorite person and your least favorite person. And I was just in between them.
You know what? I'm not.
And then I saw Karl Anthony Towns, too, in the same place.
I'm not rooting against Johnny Manziel. I can't say I'm rooting completely for him, but I'm not rooting for failure. So if he turns his act around, I'd be happy for him. So
he looked to be quite together when I saw him.
Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
That was a funny one.